Okay, good morning, everybody. Uh, just a little quickie here. I keep saying quickies and I won't shut up. Uh, there's been some confusion on cylinders again. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to understand these, but there are a lot of different cylinders. I mean, you got this ugly looking wide D. You've got the standard Falcon, and then you got the other Falcon that's got the big DO Reed setup. You've got the 49 millimeter, which is easy to spot. It says 70/80 with a big woodpecker on the side of it. And plus, it's got the steel sleeve. So those are easy to spot. The 48 millimeter looks just like that. You just got to measure it. Uh, then you get into the G4s, but there's several different versions of the G4s. You have different generations of them. The current one is this is the latest. It will have the 6 dots on one side and 4 on the other. This is pretty much the latest version. It already has the exhaust port shaped like that, and the intake will have, when you look on the inside, will have the little bit of a smile. Uh, and but the dots are the giveaway. That's your latest version. The first generation had no dots anywhere on it. Uh, it was really pretty rough. The second generation came out. You had 4 dots on one side, none on the other. Uh, then and the casts were very rough textured cylinders. The third generation came out, had the in the exhaust had the little uh, ring support in there, uh, but the exhaust was still lacking. And then the fourth generation came out, which is like this one. It had the 6 on one side and 4 on the other. Uh, it's a good combination. Then they have the one they call the G5, which is this cylinder, but it's sleeved. Uh, a lot of people like those. A lot of people don't. They're scared that the sleeves will turn loose and slide down and destroy the engine. Uh, I think in a few rare cases that's happened. But the Generation 5, I mean, the G5 is a good cylinder. Uh, it holds up really well because of the steel sleeve as far as ring wear and what have you. Uh, then we get into where everybody's confused with the G4s and what everybody calls the Wildcat cylinder. Uh, now, this one has the 40 millimeter intake. You notice it's just got the fins all the way around, but here's the giveaway on it. It's got the round exhaust port. Okay, this was Mr. Groovy's original design. This is the GT cylinder. Uh, and we can thank him for it actually coming out to match the pipe. Okay, that's the GT cylinder. It'll come standard with 120-degree transfer ports. The G4s and all the other family members that's in this class, the transfers are at 110 and they're tapered. Uh, 110 being the highest degree at the tip of the transfers. Then the one that everybody gets confused on, the Wildcat. It's not too confusing if you know what you're looking for. The Wildcat looks a lot like that GT. Smooth fins all the way around. Uh, It's got the rectangular exhaust port though. And here's the dead giveaway. 32 millimeter intake port, not 40 like everybody else's. It's a 32. That and the transfers on it are closed, but they have very nice uniform transfers set at an exact 120 degrees. These things can be made into very good performance cylinders. If you're familiar with any of the Fred Chelminsky engines, the CRMs is what I'm, the GT5Ls, the Super Hammers, all of those. He uses these with his special little crankshaft setup, and they make awesome engines. Most of his were piston ports. In fact, almost every one of them was piston ports, and they would outperform a lot of the Reed engines easily. So keep in mind when you're trying to figure out cylinders, 32 millimeter intake, rectangular exhaust, smooth fins all the way around, that is a Wildcat. This is not a Wildcat. I understand there's a website that's got them on there, and they say that these, you can use these for replacements for the Wildcat cylinder, but nobody's producing the Wildcat cylinder anymore. So they're either going to have to use the GT, or they're going to have to use a version of the G4, whether it be a 47, 48, 49 millimeter. That's the only, that's what there is. Or the G5, which, by the way, Kelly Farragon loves the G5s. But needless to say, there's what we're working with. Take it or leave it. When it comes to China dolls, that's about all there is, unless you get into the 50 millimeters, and then there's 2 or 3 of those. And if need be, you guys can ask me, and I'll dig some of those out. We can talk about the differences in those too. Okay? Enjoy your weekend, guys, gals.